it was right in the center. I measured to make sure, but I have this tree charm that I sewed on, and then I had some random pieces of chain lying around from jewelry making, so I ended up putting those on the bottom and making them into this cool, like, dangly sort of design. And then to attach it together, there's a few different things you can do. This is the easiest thing for me to do. I'm not very good with working with the metal hardware that you normally see on the ends of these, so the easiest thing that I found for me to do was take some fabric and then sew it on, and then cut a hole on one side. So just on this side, cut a hole, and then on the other side, take another piece of fabric about the same size and sew that on the other side, and then sew a button on it so that the button can go through the hole like that. So if you have trouble with working with hardware and jewelry making, and you just want to make something simple like this to wear, this is a very good idea for you. Alright, and another one that I made was this studded flower one. On this one, as you can see, it has a different clasp on the end. This is what I was talking about with the hardware. It's all metal kind of stuff. There's jump rings that you can attach, and then these pieces on the end that you can attach to the ribbon, and then you put jump rings, if you can, yeah, these are the jump rings, and then this is the clasp, which you can attach to the jump rings, and it'll open it like that. And then on the front, I just have some more studs that I sewed on, and then I have these flowers. I don't remember where I got them, but they're like craft flowers, and I sewed the back of them on through this part on the back. That was kind of a fun one to make. And then this is a completely different style of choker you could make. So this is just black ribbon, just plain black ribbon, no design, no lace, and then I sewed all of these studs all around it, so it can be like that. And then I would recommend spacing them out the best you can so that they are more even. Mine is a little bit uneven, but it doesn't really matter. I don't really mind. But if you do mind, try to be more precise with that. And then on the back here, I did a completely different thing for this one. This one has Velcro on both sides. So when you're doing this, make sure that one end has the Velcro going this way, and one end has the Velcro going the opposite way, so that you can put them together like this. And then this one, so I bought this one. It was just this black material, and then it just had this little gem in the middle, but it was really boring and I didn't like it, so I decided to add all these studs and sew them all on, and then I sewed a spider charm on in the middle to make it more interesting. Alright, and this cute little bat one is the same sort of concept as the tree one. I did the exact same thing with it. I got a little bat charm in the middle, and then a bunch of studs that I sewed on, and then this one is the same thing with the button, and in that sort of way of attaching it together. And then this was one of the last ones I'm going to show you. This was for a costume. This is a bunch of feathers that I glued onto some, or no, I didn't glue, I sewed them onto this fabric, or this ribbon. So I did ribbon as a base, and then that's like on the back part of this, as you can see, and I put this lace over it because just doing the lace would have been uncomfortable. And then underneath both of the layers, I sewed on these feathers. And this one, I haven't completely finished it yet. This was just temporary, but this is something that you can do if you want. I put these 2 safety pins on the back to hold it together. And then this is the last one I'm going to show you. I actually thrifted this one, but I just added a charm onto it. So this broke out at one point and I had to fix it. I found it at a thrift store, but this little spider was not on it when I got it. So I added a jump ring and I just put it on there, and I thought it added a nice little touch to it. And while we're still on the topic of jewelry, I've made a few pairs of earrings. You can get packs with 2 charms that are exactly the same. And all you gotta do is add a couple of jump rings, and you can get these attachments at plenty of craft stores where it's a hook, it's an earring hook, and you attach the end of it to jump rings. And then these are the same kind of concept. These cute little leaves. I have 2 of them. I dropped the other one. Now I haven't made a whole bunch of earrings. Those are really the only pairs I have. So I'm going to end the topic of jewelry and move on to the next one. So I'm wearing a pair of these right now. They were tights, but you can cut holes in them. You can even cut holes in the fingers like this if you choose to. Or you can just leave them like this so that they only go around your arm. It's up to you what you want to do with them. I have another pair right here to show you. These were fishnets. I made them into the same thing as this. All you have to do is cut a hole into the crotch, and it'll stretch out a bit like this. And then it turns into these. And that's all you really have to do. So there's that. And now I'll talk about probably my favorite project I've ever done. It is this bag. This took me quite a while to finish, and I sewed a lot of stuff together onto it. This was a plain black bag I found at a thrift store. So I'll show you really close up here, but I had a whole bunch of this mesh skull fabric, so I sewed it all onto the back of this on each side around. Well, this I couldn't really sew around, but okay, so this side I sewed it all around this part, and then I did the same thing on this side. And then after I was done sewing that, these are all pieces of ribbon that I sewed on all the way down to make a design. And I spaced them out as evenly as possible while doing this. And then I added some safety pins for a little bit more of a cool design. And I added a couple of keychains that I had, like this skull and it's like a purple sugar skull. And then on this side I have just a plain sugar skull and some feathers, some black feathers. I use that bag a lot for like when I have to pack to go places, like if I'm going to stay overnight somewhere, go to a hotel, whatever. It's a good use for something like that, and I only got it for a few bucks at a thrift store. So there's an idea for you. You can also do things like, if you find a plain black purse at a thrift store, you can paint it with fabric paint. As you see here, I've been meaning to put more stuff on this bag. I just haven't gotten around to it. But everywhere that has purple on it, I painted with fabric paint. I'm going to plan to put some studs and stuff on here. And then this little bag, I just needed a simple hiking bag. I was trying to find something that was kind of small. I didn't have a whole lot of luck at the thrift store, so I picked the one bag I could find, and it had sparkly unicorns on it, which I did not want on there. So I painted black over all of it. You can't really notice that much anymore, but that was a simple fix for something that was easy to do. So I decided to just do that instead of just leave it there, I guess. Alright, now I want to talk about skirts. So I had this random t-shirt that I found at a thrift store. I really liked the fabric, but I didn't like it as a t-shirt. So instead, I used that fabric and I made it into a mini skirt. And what I did was I sewed the sides, and then I hemmed the bottom, and I folded some of the fabric around the top part. Hold on. Like this. As you can see, I stitched it all properly. But I'm pretty sure I had to measure all of this before I did any of it. I took a different mini skirt that I already owned, and I just went off of that with the fabric, and I cut the fabric to the same size. And then it ended up turning out quite nice. And then this skirt is still kind of a work in progress. I think I'm pretty much done with it. I just need to like refine a few things on it. And I'm not really sure what to wear it with either. I had all this bat fabric, purple bat fabric, and I sewed it into this asymmetrical skirt, and around the waist I sewed all of this black lace all around it, and then I added a little bit of spiderweb fabric that's also asymmetrical. And then on the inside, I have a bunch of tulle and spiderweb fabric that's also in an asymmetrical design. So it's a very layered, uneven skirt.